Are United States citizens anti-cute? Of course not. You don't need to look any farther than how popular anime is in the US. You've got conventions, TV show, and tons of internet memes. Anime is popular in the US, but what does that have to do with anything? Just look at it! Big ol' eyes, big heads, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. Cuteness has its own set of characteristics. Heck, when a young Triceratops skull was discovered, it was noted to have a shortened face and big eyes, which were probably only cute to the mother, but what does this have to do with the US? Well, we like things like Pokemon, and pretty much every anime that got popular in the US had those cute characteristics such as the big eyes. Take Yu-Gi-Oh! For example. Our main hero, who's supposed to be the guy to carry us to victory, is being called the cutest kid when he blushes? What? So obviously we like cute. Or do we? Let's see what traditional US heroes and cartoon icons look like. You got Superman, small-eyed and small-headed. Batman, no eyes and small-headed. And Hulk Hogan. We left the 80s, entered the 90s, and Japan was pop culturally invading the United States. But wait, did Japan bring cuteness to us, or did we give cuteness to them? Now before anyone rips my head off, no, I don't watch anime. No, I don't know diddly dick about anime. And no, I am not making this video claiming to be an expert. If you want to have your mind blown in regards to cuteness, check out Vsauce's video on cute. I just want to go over some observations that caught my attention, such as, it's been said that Disney influenced Japanese animators. Films such as Snow White, released in 1937, was very influential. Other US-based animations were also influential, such as Mickey Mouse and Betty Boop. And these characters exhibit the signs of cuteness, such as the round head and the big eyes. So in a sort of two-way influence, US cartoons influenced Japanese cartoons to some degree, which would eventually come back to influence the US. So while Japan was developing their own anime style that would eventually become popular in the US kept to its own thing. The cutesy Disney characters stayed for younger children, while older children got edgier, not-so-cute characters like the Ninja Turtles, He-Man, and Thundercats. Western audiences in the 80s didn't really need cute. But with the introduction of anime to Western audience, things began to change. But even then, things weren't completely changed. For example, the Kirby effect. Everyone knows who Kirby is, lovable pink marshmallow. But did you know, some Kirby games were released in the US with altered box art? As you can see, Kirby is noticeably much more pissed off and ready to kick ass, whereas the Japanese box art has Kirby looking noticeably much more happy. Although both could still be considered cute, it's clear to see that those living in the West prefer their cute to also have a level of toughness. What makes this strange is that it wasn't always the case. When looking at the very first Kirby game, there's not much difference other than color and background. When looking at the second game, it's pretty much identical. When comparing Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo, the US version looks much more cute with its stars and the little hat. The Japanese box is just bland. So what exactly caused Nintendo to change their minds? All the examples of the pissed off Kirby came out after the N64. It's clear to see that as time went on, Kirby went from being happy to being pissed, and the Japanese boxes stayed relatively the same with a happy Kirby. But it doesn't just stop there. Other cute video game icons have also had slight differences made for their US release. Sparkster from Rocket Knight Adventure also had the Kirby effect, going from a smiling, over-enthusiastic possum to a much more pissed-off possum. No one would say that the US box isn't cute, but if we had to pick the cuter one, I get the feeling the happier one would get more picks. Even Sonic had a similar effect comparing the US and Japanese box. They made his eyebrows slightly more sharp for the US and his design less soft and round. And then there's Mega Man. Just look at the guy. Isn't he just adorable? I bet the US one looks slightly different. Oh my god! Well, at least the Japanese Mega Man 2 looks pretty nice. I wonder what changes were made for the... What the funky monkey? Admittedly, he looks a lot less terrifying than Mega Man 1. But still, he looks like he's wearing a police motorcycle helmet and blue pajamas. And in both Mega Man boxes, he's carrying a gun. As the games progressed, Mega Man became slowly what we have become accustomed to seeing. The Japanese boxes, on the other hand, stayed consistent. My point is, it's clear to see that there were strong cultural differences between what would sell here in the US and what would sell over there in Japan. But over time, the changes were implemented, and those living in the US have sort of adopted the cute look. Sort of, because it hasn't been 100% duplication. I mean, look at Kirby. But Kirby is still cute. Angry or not, he's still the same lovable pink marshmallow. US citizens love cute things. Internet cats are the rage, cute animals are all over the internet, so is anime. But perhaps the biggest sign of a cultural shift is My Little Pony, because I gotta mention them in every video, right? But perhaps this is a controversial subject to bring up because I know a lot of guys don't like MLP, and to say everyone loves cute things and then say MLP is cute kind of implies that everyone likes MLP, which we all know isn't true. So this made me wonder, are we making a slow transition? Perhaps this country is still divided on whether cute things should be enjoyed by everyone or just children. I remember my time in North Dakota that there was a guy who found it weird that we were talking about Pokemon because to him, growing up in the Midwest, it was weird to see adults talking about something he considered to be for children. In Japan, it's pretty clear that cute things are enjoyed by a lot of people. There are Pokemon on airplanes. There are even cute mascots for the police departments. The police!
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Could you ever see the US adopting similar patterns? Well, I consider our trolley here in San Diego being turned into the Friendship Express, although only for Comic-Con, to be a sign that it's a strong possibility. MLP itself has caused a huge rift in what is considered normal, with guys openly wearing MLP shirts displaying these big-eyed ponies. A lot of people still find that weird though. Even me myself, I'm kind of conscious of the fact that it's not what I was used to seeing. Considering the prevalence of the cute culture that is coming forth in the US and is still going strong, such a feature may not be too different. Even if it's a more aggressive version, cute imagery has been implanted into 2014 US pop culture, but it is definitely at the point that it can go either way. There are guys who will make fun of other guys who are into cute things. There are guys who won't admit that they're into cute things because they're afraid of being made fun of. I, for one, still feel sick whenever I see cute things. So where does that leave us? Do we like cute things or not? Yes, we do. According to Vsauce, looking at cute things releases dopamine in the brain, which is supposedly what meth also does. And if meth has similar effects of cuteness, then you might as well call Lauren Faust Heisenberg. So that's about all I can say. This video was more or less just to question the overall nature of cuteness and its prevalence in US pop culture, and how globalization really does affect us in the smallest of ways. We influence Japan, Japan influences us, and it shows that we really are super connected in terms of global media. So, until next time, I'm still stupid.